And that's what we start off today on Sunrise Daily. How do we bring an end to all of this? Some actions being taken, though. But Vince Onyekolo joins us from our studios in Abuja. Morning, Vince, and thank you for joining us today. Well, no doubt about it, some decisions and some actions are being taken by the government of the day. But the thing is, the bombs are going off. And of course, you know that while that happens, many will just feel a sense of despair, anguish, as a matter of fact. What's your reading of what's going on at the moment?
Thank you for good morning. Now, it's quite unfortunate with the current situation of bomb attacks across Nigeria. And may I first of all use this opportunity to commiserate and sympathize our fellow Nigerians that lost their lives, or those that were injured and their family members that are going through a very tough time. It's quite painful. Obviously, as a professional, in our last discussions here, we made it clear that there is trouble, that we should be worried. Now, the question is, what are we doing to reduce this? Even though we may not be able to stop it immediately, but what is the federal government doing to reduce it? It's very painful. It's so sad that it's in only places like Nigeria whereby the loss of a life is seen as just a number, just 7, like somebody said. I don't know, is it because we don't have respect for human lives? But fellow Nigerians are being killed every day, and people are not worried. It's painful. I feel like crying because it's totally unacceptable. Are there things we can do? Oh, definitely right. There are things we can do immediately to reduce it, even though you may not be able to stop it 100% straight up. But we have to be able to set goals that we want to reduce this in the next 1 month. We want to reduce by 20%. Following 3 months, we want to get down by 40%. We have to be able to set goals. I'm not sure that the people in charge are doing enough. I don't know, is it because they don't have the capacity or the capability or the ability or the sense of understanding? But if they don't, listen, people, you've got experts that have seen it all. Don't look at the young or the youth of the face, but you look at the mind and the heart that have seen it, that knows what is going on. You need to get people to help you out. Don't forget that not every uniformed man understands his or her job. I've seen people that have been in the job because of they're going to the job by federal character, or because an uncle or somebody somewhere put their names down and they got the job. They don't understand the job. So let's get people that understand the job to help to reduce things. Now, I heard the special advisor or the spokesperson talking the other day that they want to negotiate from a point of strength. It makes me to ask, what is your strength right now? I don't know where your strength lies. Maybe you're not an expert in these issues. Maybe you're just a journalist. But I need to understand, where is your point of strength? We need to show that we've got a point of strength. It's very painful to see Nigerians massacred every day, and we're here speaking long grammars. We need to get actions done.
Let me bring in this perspective. I mean, I know I did hear the presidential spokesman say, look, even if it's one life that is lost as a result of these attacks, it really does mean a lot to them. So maybe the governor at that time might have said that, but the word from the presidency is that they take that very seriously. But let's take a look at some of the actions they are taking at the moment with respect to sorting this out, because after all, he did say time and again that, look, security was #1 for him, and he wants to ensure that there's safety, I mean, peace, safety of lives and property in this country. Upon assumption of office, as you saw in that report, he's taking several measures, and if he's even billed to have a meeting with the U.S. president about the same security scenario. What do you think is going on? Do you think, how many fronts? First, those actions they are taking, the ones with the guns, and then there's also that suggestion that we've got to counter or fight this with a counter-ideological perspective. Do you think that is going on alongside, while we decide putting boots on the ground too?
It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. For most Nigerians, our major concern is to see this reduced. Obviously, there could be other actions. But don't forget that the government don't need to tell everybody all the strategies they have in place. They can't tell everybody all the tactical and tactile procedures they have in place, because these are very confidential and private security measures. But the bottom line is we need to feel safe. We need to feel that our government is looking after us. We need to feel secured. These are the basic needs of our constitution, to feel secured in Nigeria. Right now, people are not feeling that way. Now, there could be issues of boots on the ground, the police taking over, the taking off the checkpoint. There's a lot of semantics here. But for me as a professional, it breaks my heart to see people dying, and we need to see more. And seeing more, don't get me wrong, the government, since inauguration, has taken very interesting measures to get this sorted. The collaboration, call it not just collaboration, but rather the progressive collaboration between the Nigerian government and our neighboring countries are very fantastic. So we'll be able to look into securing the Sahel region. Obviously, we know the Sahel region starting from the Atlantic Ocean to the Sahara Desert. So all those countries there, we need to collaborate with them. But the game is changing. If you understand the situation, the dynamics, it is changing. Now, you're looking at issues in Libya are getting more complicated. Now, Mali is getting involved also with complications. Now, we have two neighboring countries between Libya and Mali and Nigeria. What are we doing? Because Nigeria could be the major target. Nigeria could be the major place of focus. What are we doing? What have we done differently from last month, from last week?
In fact, for me, if you allow me to comment here, Vince, a quick one. That is exactly where I wanted us to look at. Just a few weeks before the elections, we saw what the Nigerian military did. It was drastic. It was successful. They were able to almost completely wipe off Boko Haram, almost. What would you say happened between that time and now with this new administration? One would have thought that what they would be doing at this time would have been some form of cleanup. But all of a sudden, we're getting to see a renewed force from the terrorists.
Obviously, Mr. President, with all due respect to him, has done fantastic enough. He's just shown like he's got the determination to get this result. But whatever happened between the last government ending their regime and the new government taking place, it's obviously for the military to talk about. I'm not their spokesperson, so obviously I cannot talk about their operations. However, for me, as a professional, what I see here that there could have been tactical decisions, there could have been tactical changes, and not just tactical, but there could have been tactile changes that obviously has given the insurgents this new form of motivation, that even though they were on the back foot, or as everybody knows across the world, but all of a sudden, the issue is what gave them the encouragement to move in. Because for me, I look beyond the spate of violence in the past few days. For me, the question for me is, where else do we have IEDs? Where else do we have sleeping cells, waiting, lying down, waiting to be informed to activate their operations? Where else are they already? Because the truth is, looking at what has happened in Yobe, in Borno, in Kano, in Plateau, and in Kaduna, the truth is, they could have been anywhere right now. They could have sleeping cells that are ready, that have got what it takes to explode people, to bomb people. And my fear in the next couple of weeks is, if we don't do much, we could, and I must use this word carefully, we could start seeing a new change of dynamics. Well,